Hello and welcome to the City Show. I'm your host, Dr. Tom Krieger. On this week's show, we'll be checking in with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce and reviewing their busy summer. Kevin Schwieger, interesting fella. We'll be meeting him later in the show and talking to him about a couple of projects that he's shepherding into Lebanon. But up first, May 13th marks the reunion of Lebanon Farmers Market. And here to tell us about what to expect this year is Kelly Klein, Lebanon's new administrative assistant to the city, and Natalie LaCroix, the baker manager at Irons Fruit Farm. Maybe we'll get some secret recipes. Hey, ladies, welcome to the couch. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Kelly, let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Now there's two administrative assistants.
Yes.
I was wondering if the other one was axed, if Scott is just being so rough on you guys, but
No.
There's so much going on that he needs two assistants.
That's right.
I got to talk to you, Scott.
Yeah.
You the man. Yeah. How did you discover our great town? What brought you here?
I actually, so I had worked for the city of Mason for a little over 19 years.
Okay.
And I saw the job announcement for here in Lebanon, and my husband and our family and I lived in Lebanon for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And we loved the community, we loved the small town feel, we loved the history.
Nice.
And so a few years ago we moved out into the country, so being able to come back to Lebanon and work still allows me to be a part of it.
And you got a good background being involved with Mason, so you probably
Yes.
bring a great skill set. What exactly are your administrative assistant responsibilities for the city? What do you do?
So the position that I'm in, the administrative assistant to the city manager, is it's very dynamic. It changes every day, which I love. Sometimes I can have a to-do list, and I come in and that list gets shoved aside for the day, and I do whatever needs to be done. But I definitely help every week with preparing the council agendas and the legislation for the council meetings. I'm currently working on putting together some welcome bags for new businesses and residents that come
Nice.
to the city.
Yeah.
So we're looking to maybe partner with some businesses on getting those
Good.
put together. I work with the Chamber, Main Street Lebanon, and the other local civic groups to make sure they have everything they need for all of the great events and festivals that they put on here in the city. And I'm also working on the Healthy Living Market, which is scheduled for September 11th this year, and look for more to come on that.
And now you also have the responsibility of the Farmers Market, which has just come out. We're going to be talking about that. Natalie, why does the Irons Fruit Farm choose to participate? Because you guys have a beautiful venue.
Yeah, we've been here quite a few years. We like to continue to support our local business, keep our name so people remember us in Lebanon, and bring our produce to the community.
Okay, so for the people in town who don't know where you are, where's the farm at?
We're located just outside of downtown Lebanon, just up Stubbs Mills.
And you guys have some great events. I know around Halloween you have the pumpkin stuff.
Yes.
Any other events that you guys have out there?
We might possibly be having like a corn festival this summer, possibly a strawberry festival, blueberry festival. We're in the works of it, but thinking about it.
And what kind of stuff do you guys raise there?
We raise a little bit of everything: berries, apples, corn, anything you can think of.
Okay. How long have you been there?
This is my 4th year, coming up on my 4th year there.
Fantastic. Are you going to share any recipes? The apple fritter recipe?
I do not have the ability to do that. I'm so sorry.
Are these family secrets?
Yes, they are family secrets.
Because they're fantastic. So what exactly are customers able to shop for as far as the produce? What do you guys have out there all year round?
Usually all year round, we usually have vegetables, but that usually doesn't come until around July, usually later in the summer. But apples, berries, all kinds of stuff.
Okay. I obviously, I'm aware of this, but a lot of people aren't. What's the benefit of getting something right from the farm versus getting something from the store?
Mm-hmm. Well, you get to support a local business, local produce. A lot of people like to use just local produce versus going to Kroger.
Okay. I read a book years ago. It was called Empty Harvest, and it was talking about how our soil just isn't as good as it used to be. And I would think farmers are probably looking at making sure you have the right stuff in there, because a lot of times we don't know what we're getting. So by getting it from the local farmer, you know you're biting into it and you're getting all that nutrition that a lot of places you might not have. As far as a good example of the vendors right now, Kelly, at the market, is it all filled up? Because we're just getting started.
We actually have space for a few more vendors. I think that Irons is obviously a great example of what can be purchased at the market. They have locally grown fresh produce, some baked goods, some other sweet treats sometimes based on what season it is and what they have available.
Okay, now I know they have some organic meats too. Can you tell us about some of those vendors that are bringing organic meats to the market?
Sure, and I think organic, I think that's interesting that you bring that up because that's a term that's thrown around a lot. I think what people don't realize is that to be certified organic, there are a lot of hoops, a lot of hoops that farmers have to jump through sometimes, a lot of paperwork. They have to have visits by the Department of Agriculture, and I think sometimes it's so difficult for them even to just get their basic farming done that seems like too much paperwork and hoops to jump through. But I think the one thing to keep in mind is just because somebody's not certified organic doesn't mean that they use a lot of chemicals or a lot of pesticides or anything like that.
Comes down to what their neighbor's using and all that other stuff.
That's right.
You're smirking over there.
Yes.
You obviously want to chime in on this topic. So
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Go ahead. As far as the organic, are you guys certified organic?
We're actually not. No,
Okay.
we're not.
Okay.
It is. She's right. It is a lot of paperwork, a lot of hoops to jump through in order to be that.
But I will add to that. I think the benefit of the farmer's market is you can go into Kroger and buy your produce, but you don't know who grew it, how they grew it, what chemicals they may or may not have used. The good thing about a farmer's market is you can talk directly to the farmer. So you can ask them, do you use herbicides? Do you use pesticides?
Yeah.
How do you grow it? And so you have a better idea of what you're eating.
So if someone's looking for organic produce, obviously the farmer's market's a great place because you're not just buying, but you're getting educated.
That's correct.
So are you involved at the market too? Do you go down there? Or you just
I am, yes.
Really? Okay. So as far as the baked goods, what kind of baked goods do you
Well,
bring?
usually we rotate that, like we were talking about earlier. The fritters are usually in the fall, our fan favorite, but we have donuts all year round. We have pies all year round. We usually change our varieties with the season, but all kinds of stuff.
Now, obviously, it goes beyond fruits and vegetables. Is there anything else that we missed that's available out there at the market?
There's actually a lot of different things available at the market. This year we've added a couple of new vendors that are bringing new things. Some of our returning vendors are bringing new things. There will be potted plants, hanging baskets, honey, granola, body butters, and organic soaps, some organic insect repellent. So there's a variety of things that can be purchased there. And then the new vendors that we've added this year, there's actually a local business that does hand-poured soy candles, and they donate part of their proceeds to local animal rescues and also some natural dog treats.
So it's not just food. There's some crafts and other products.
Yes.
But the general theme is local
Right.
people, and that's awesome. So we get to support that. So when and where is the market?
The market is every Thursday in the city parking lot at the corner of Sycamore and Main Street. It'll be 3 to 7 p.m. Starts next Thursday, May 13th, until October 14th, and it's rain or shine.
Nice. Now with the construction or demolition of Sycamore Street, have there been issues with parking, or is parking? Do you have any suggestions on where to park? Is that even an issue?
That shouldn't be an issue. The parking lot that the farmers market is held in, along with the additional parking there, should not be affected. So there should be plenty of space for vendors and shoppers.
Okay. Any special promotional things? Maybe things for the kids?
We're actually working on adding some of that this year. We're hoping to partner maybe with some local businesses to provide some activities for the kids. I think that our hope is that the Lebanon Farmers Market becomes a destination for families and not just a place where they stop by and grab a few things, but where they can spend some time and their kids can enjoy some fun and educational activities. So we are working on putting those together, so stay tuned for more information on that.
Did they have something similar in Mason as far as a farmer's market?
They did years ago, but I think that's been taken over. It's not run by the city of Mason anymore, I know that.
Okay, so what are we doing to get people from outside the community to come and become aware of it? Is that the Facebook and all the other stuff?
Yeah, I think social media plays a huge part in marketing. We have updated all of our marketing for the farmers market this year. We have brand new logos. You mentioned Rebecca that you had talked to previously, Scott's other administrative assistant, and she has done a wonderful job at putting new branding on the farmers market. We have new signs that we're putting out, but social media is definitely the best way for people to stay informed.
How many years has this been now with the farmers market?
Oh gosh,
Any idea?
I don't know, to be honest. I've only been here for 3
I know
months.
they have signs on the street now.
Right,
You know,
right,
so that
absolutely.
it must have been
Yes.
been there for a while.
Yep.
How do we get more information about the farmers market?
Definitely, like I said, follow our Facebook page. It's Lebanon, Ohio Farmers Market. We have been doing vendor spotlights, putting stuff on there, and then what we try to do each week is have the vendors tell us at the beginning of the week what they will be offering, because it varies depending on the season and what they have available. So we'll update that Facebook page every week so people know what will be available that Thursday.
I know one great way to coax people to go down there is What do you got cooking?
Yeah.
What do you got baking now?
Yeah.
What are you going to have first? Okay, and is there somewhere maybe you can pipe the smells of apple pie
We
and
can find a way.
just follow that in? So the first week, it's
We'll
important,
have our
right?
cider donuts. We will
Okay.
have those. With the pies, like I said, we change those every season, but we'll have strawberry rhubarb, apple, caramel apple, and cherry.
Oh, wow. Nice. That sounds good. Any deals if you buy in quantity?
Usually with our donuts, if you get half a dozen, it's 5, and if you get a dozen, it's 8. So a little deal there.
Okay, well, that in itself should be a good thing. Is there anything else I missed as far as what's going on at the market?
I don't think so. Like I said,
Okay.
I would just stay tuned to our social media because we are
Beautiful.
going to continue to add things. And I would just like to remind everyone that when you shop at the Lebanon Farmers Market, you are not only buying locally fresh
Yeah.
produce and items, but you're also supporting small businesses and small farms here in our community and in Warren County.
Yeah, well, come on down, say hi to Natalie. Okay, she'll be out there and probably develop some new friendships with the folks out there. Get out there and check this out. Hey, stay tuned. We'll be back with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce right after this break.
Break your fast food habit at Kelly's Meats and Deli at 1001 West Main Street in Lebanon. Stop in for a quick lunch featuring made-to-order sandwiches, tasty sides, and mouth-watering daily specials. For dinner, Kelly's offers fresh-cut steaks, chops, and seafood, plus a variety of prepared dishes that only need to be reheated. You'll also find a large selection of high-quality wine and beer that can make any meal a special event. Kelly's Meats and Deli open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, now open for dinner Saturdays 6 to 9 p.m. And remember, we cater too.
Your hometown source, the Lebanon Channel, is now on YouTube.
I know how fortunate I am.
Just search City of Lebanon, Ohio to connect with everything that's happening right here.
And that's going to be an exciting part about this walking tour.
Subscribe to receive exclusive local content available only on the Lebanon Channel.
Wow, Neil Armstrong's coming to my launch. I was so excited about that.
That's the City of Lebanon, Ohio, now on YouTube.
That's what makes this Lebanon, Ohio a great place
buddy.
to live.
Yeah. An auto accident is a terrible thing to encounter. Oftentimes people look to getting their car taken care of, but they forget to take care of their body. At Lebanon Chiropractic and Fitness, that's what we do. We take care of your body with chiropractic adjustments, therapeutic massage, and therapeutic exercise. So if you've been involved in a vehicular collision, call our office at 933-9799 so we can take care of the body that counts.
Call now to schedule your free initial consultation, 933-9799.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
While many businesses had an off year 2020 due to the pandemic, the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce has worked tirelessly to make sure that didn't happen to their members, including one of the event, the third Friday, and that went on due to a lot of creative stuff because the restrictions were, I don't know how you pulled that off. But here to talk about that and some of the other events this summer is Angie Smith and Jimmy King, who's handling marketing. Guys, welcome to the show. Angie, what's so important, or why is it so important for the Chamber to keep your programming going for your members?
Well, our biggest reason is to continue to promote our businesses, and by continuing to support them by having events and bringing people into the community, it obviously drives more business, and it also brings new people into town to see what we have to offer.
I imagine some cities just said, folded up shop and said, you know what, let's just wait. Look for a reason to take a vacation. But
Yeah.
you guys did, and thank you so much. Did you actually grow during that time? Did you get more members?
We did.
Wow.
In the course of the past pandemic year, if you will, we grew about 45 new members.
Okay, that's spectacular.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So what special accommodations did you have to make last year to continue with that third Friday through the pandemic?
So a lot of creativity, a lot of work with the health department. We obviously had the tables that we were able to put out and kind of space it out. There was no, and normally in Third Fridays we have chairs where people could sit. We didn't put chairs out this year. Hand sanitizer stations pretty much everywhere on every table. You know, we ask that people continue to follow the mandates and rules, but you know, it went well. There were times where I was a little nervous, but it was outside. People, you know, social distance, respected others, and went well.
I imagine the attendance was probably down, but what was the overall reaction of the people who came? Were they just like off the hook joyful because they could have something close to normal?
You know, it was, and we didn't have June. We canceled June. We did have July, August, and September last year, and with each month, the attendance actually grew, and by the end in September, it was probably the biggest one yet.
Oh my goodness.
So it was, people are ready. They were ready to get out. You know, I think July was a little bit of a tester to kind of see, and people just needed that. They needed to come out. You know, there were a few that, you know, questioned where people's masks were. And, you know, with each recommendation, we tried to make sure that we followed it because we certainly didn't want to hinder businesses by bringing problems to downtown. But people enjoyed it. They enjoyed coming out. You know, our businesses thanked us.
I think respect is a word that just goes really far because people are fearful, and I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this year. The first concert is on Friday, June 18th, and you're going to have my friends from Oregonia at 7:30. Tell me about the opening act at 5. You got 2 acts?
Yes.
Okay, so who's opening?
So this year we want to fill the stage from 5 o'clock until 11 o'clock, and we are opening with the jazz band from the Lebanon High School.
Nice.
And we're super excited. Anytime we can bring young musicians out, we want to bring them out. We want to put them on the stage. We want to spotlight them. And so they're going to be opening for us this year. They're really excited about it. I've been talking with the director, and they're planning, and it's just fun. It's going to be really neat.
And my good friend Josh Cole and his folks from the Music Academy in town.
They're going to be there.
They perform under the name of Oregonia. And who's later? Do you have another band later?
No, just
2
Oregonia
bands.
will be the headliner band. So they'll play, the jazz band will play first, and then they'll finish out the night for us.
Yeah, what about the food and the drinks? What do you have available there?
So we're really excited this year about our food. We have several new food trucks coming out. We have barbecue trucks, we have Italian trucks, we have Mexican trucks. We don't want to fill the streets with food trucks and take away from the business from our restaurants.
That's smart.
So we also have a homemade ice cream truck that's going to come out. They're new this year. We also are bringing in a new craft beer, which is Cartridge Brewing. They just recently joined the chamber, and they're going to set up a tent. They're
Is
going
that
to be
a
out
local
there.
brewery?
It is. It's in the Powder Factory.
Oh,
in Kings
nice.
Mills.
That opened up finally.
It
my
is.
goodness, yeah.
So they joined the chamber this week.
Nice.
They're going to have their craft beer out there. Then Common Beer will be back. And then, of course, Ohio Eagle will bring their Budweiser selection.
And for people who aren't familiar with the acronym DORA, can you explain what that is? And I'm assuming that's going to be in effect?
Yes, it is. And so what that'll allow people to do is have in their DORA cup designated outdoor recreational area, refreshment area. They'll have a cup, and they can, if they go into a restaurant and they have their drink, they can bring it out and walk within that DORA area and enjoy listening to bands or enjoy shopping or whatever. So no, we don't suspend that for our events because again, having these events is to build our businesses, and by closing it and not allowing businesses to offer special drinks would somewhat hurt them.
Yeah, that's nice. And as far as the stage, are they going to change where that is? Is it going to be in the same place it always has been?
The stage?
Yeah.
It'll be in the same place that it's been for the last, this will be my 4th year, third Friday.
The big remodeling thing with the bump outs, was that 2019 that they did that?
It was.
Yeah, so now it's still kind of like a grand opening. Come see Lebanon.
Yes.
Jimmy, what do you think of our town, a downtown area?
I've just really started spending a lot of time in Lebanon last fall and winter.
Okay.
And I love it. I mean, I think it's just a great town. Everybody's just very personable and makes you feel at home. I mean, how can't you like, the town itself?
That's neat.
You know,
Where
it's just a
are you
beautiful
from?
town.
Give us a little history on you.
I live in northern Kentucky, but I
Okay.
grew up in the Cincinnati area.
Okay.
So I make a little trip up here about once or twice a week.
So they recruited you. They went
Yeah.
down south to
Yeah.
find out about the famous Jimmy King. Jimmy King sounds like a marketing, like you put on wrestling matches or concerts, or I mean, it has a marketing swing to it.
That's funny. It's funny because it's really just such a country boy kind of name.
Okay.
Jimmy Lee King is just is about as country as it gets.
How'd
That's where it comes
you
from.
find this guy?
Well, actually, you'll see him on the stage twice this summer. He plays in two of the bands that'll be
fantastic.
playing.
Okay.
In Catalina Wine Mixer Band and the Naked Karate Girls. But we have been friends for several years.
Okay.
And he does a lot of marketing, and I was like, we need you to come help with do some of the marketing here. So he's been with us for a year.
Marketing is such a big umbrella, and there's so many specialties.
Well,
what is the specialty that you're bringing? What's your flair? What do
I
you
come
got?
to it from video production.
Nice.
I've had a video production company for going on 16 years. And through doing video production, you have to learn marketing to be a really good video producer. And with social media coming in, when it did, it's when my company was really starting to do a lot more of these more quick kind of videos, really, because all social media.
Yeah, now you got more content of all the events. So you're going to be probably at all the events filming to get the content stuff too?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm a musician, so I play on weekends, and I'll be playing in 2 of the nights of the third Fridays. So I won't be able to be shooting and playing, but there'll be other people there.
The one band that you mentioned, the Naked Karate, what is it again?
Naked Karate Girls.
What a great name.
It's a whole marketing trick.
How long have you been in that band?
Since the beginning.
Okay.
We're going on 13 years.
Okay.
This in June.
I wouldn't pick you for a Naked Karate Girl.
So that's I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
I'll take it as a good thing.
Yeah. You guys aren't up there in tutus and things like that to go with that theme, or are you?
No, we're not doing
just
anything
a fun
like
name.
It's just an ironic name. It's really meant to capture your attention, and
it does.
Hopefully surprise you when you get there.
It definitely works. So back to the organization of the event, the third Fridays. Are we getting the chairs out there in full volume? Are people going to be able to sit next to each other? Do we still have the social distancing? How are you handling that?
I am hopeful that people will continue to be safe and careful. We'll continue to follow what the state recommends and the county recommends. The tables will still be out for people to sit so that they don't necessarily have to be crowded in with a whole bunch of people. But it's my hope that by the middle of June, these mandates for social distancing have been lifted. They have changed somewhat to where you can have clusters of people together, spread out within so many feet. So that's my hope.
Good.
That's my hope. I don't want to be a social distance police, but I also want to be sure we're keeping our community and our businesses safe.
I think we're all hopeful for that.
Yes.
And tell us about the rest of the summer. What other bands do you have coming out?
So we have a new band in July called DAT Band, D-A-T Band.
Okay.
And they are a local Cincinnati band as well. They're a cover band. And one of our very own local young musicians, Sam Deary, is going to be opening for them.
Okay.
And then in August, we have Catalina Wine Mixer Band is going to come back. And I'm hoping, I've not confirmed the opening band. It's another band, another young musician.
Yeah.
Once they are confirmed, I will be able to announce that.
Okay.
And then the Naked Karate Girls will close out in September with Sam Deary and possibly a few other of his friends to close out the opening for that.
So who gets the axe? Is that your job? Or is that going to be, because I would think with you having a music background.
It's all her.
Really?
She's the boss.
Yeah.
I just do what she tells me.
So how do you find the talent? How do you pick up the talent? And I love the fact that we keep it local for a lot of the people and get to have them display their skills.
So I can't take all the credit. I have an amazing planning committee of about 8 that help me, locate local musicians, help us locate different bands. It would be, I probably get from August till January around 15 or 20 different bands in the Cincinnati-Dayton area that are interested in playing. And so once we get that, then when I meet with the committee in January, we kind of look at the different bands. Who do we want to bring? Who do we want to bring back? But yes, keeping it local is something that we always want to try and do, with the mindset of what are we doing to build our businesses? What are we doing to keep our community where we want it and what we want to do? So yeah, I have a great group of people that help me for sure.
That's neat. So, so what's it cost? What's the admission to these wonderful concerts?
It's free.
It's free. So how do you pay the band? Because there's got to be expenses. Where's that? Is that the money that the chamber's raising? Is that out of your coffers, or do the businesses kick in on that?
We have sponsors. I have a lot of great sponsors, and actually we have some new sponsors this year.
Give them a shout. Who do we got?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to definitely mention SiteWorks, and of course the City of Lebanon, LCNB, Fecon, T-Mobile is one of our new ones, Lebanon Ford, Advix, Countryside YMCA, and the Elks.
Beautiful.
And we're still getting people interested in sponsoring for the event. So it is quite an expensive event to put on.
Yeah.
It's important enough for us to, bring awareness to our businesses in the city that we do it.
Okay.
And we are beyond grateful for our sponsors, because we couldn't, between sponsors and then beer tickets.
Are there different tiers of sponsorships? Because I imagine you have some corporate ones. And
we do.
How about the smaller, like maybe for some of the members of the chamber that want to get involved? How do they find out about sponsorship?
So actually, the smallest money would be $250, and that's for, it's called our support sponsors. And we also are offering opportunities for volunteers. So maybe the business doesn't have the money to support, but they can support with volunteers.
Okay.
And so that is the same, if you want to call tier level, as our 250 support sponsor. And what they do is that business offers volunteers to come out and help us, and they can wear their logo shirts. We promote them on our social media, because to us, whether it's money or it's a person, you're just as important, because you're making it a success.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, obviously, this isn't all you guys do as far as the third Friday. Can you tell us more about some of the other projects that the chamber does?
Sure. So we try to obviously partner with the community as much as possible. We're actually partnering with A Brush of Hope for the rain barrel trash cans. You guys will see them for the first time at our June 3rd Friday.
Kids are coming out and painting?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this Saturday actually is the first one that they're going to paint, and then the 22nd they'll finish them. And what it is...
Yeah, back up on that. This is little kids coming out and painting barrels?
It is.
And where is this?
So they're going to do it at Harmon Park.
Okay.
And it's part of...
This weekend?
This weekend.
Okay.
So they'll do 2 this weekend, and then they'll do 2 the 22nd, and then they'll finish it up so that they're ready to roll the first third Friday. And ultimately our goal is, we call it the Rain Barrel Beautification Project.
Okay.
And, like I mentioned with our young musicians, art is huge. And we have a lot of talented artists that are from children all the way up.
Yeah.
And what better way to let them be a part of this beautification project than to paint these 55-gallon metal drums that will be used for garbage cans, and we'll be able to do that. So yeah.
Wow. What time does that start for kids? If parents want to bring their kids to Harmon Park?
11 to 3.
11 to 3. Do they have to pay to be involved for that? Okay.
They just show up.
That's too cool. What other events, real quick, do you have going on?
So we've got, obviously, Third Friday. Carriage Parade is going to be back in full swing in December. And then we offer 6 monthly networking opportunities for our members.
Well, fantastic. And as far as membership, what's it take to join the chamber? For those of you who aren't chamber members, how do they find out about membership?
They can find out about membership by going to our website at lebanonchamber.org, or they can give us a call. Just or social media. We're all over social media. We're on the website. They can give us a call.
Do they have to have a business? What if an individual just wanted to be involved in all the stuff you do and volunteer and maybe join? Are those things available too, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we also have, it's called an associate member, and you don't necessarily have to own a business or, anything like that. If they just want to get involved with the community, they can join as an associate member, and that's $75 a year.
Beautiful, beautiful. Jimmy, you got any extra thoughts you'd like to share as far as getting involved with our beautiful town? Are you pretty excited about that and what you're going to bring?
I mean, I just feel, fortunate to be part of what's going on. The Chamber I've learned, is just this really amazing business, and the things that Angie does and her networking of bringing all these businesses together. It's just, if you can become part of the Chamber, it's a really great thing for your business. It's like your own dedicated marketing team to have the Lebanon Chamber as part of your business.
What's been nice too is just seeing Angie in that spot for a while, because it seems like that spot, the director would only be there for a year or 2 years. Is this your third year now?
It'll be 3 years in August.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I imagine with you being here for a while, you really get to see and understand things as far as can you imagine somebody new coming into this?
No.
And you going, here it is. Jimmy will help you.
Yeah.
And then you being new, having somebody with her expertise, it's got to be comforting for all the people there.
I do enjoy my job. It changes daily, but I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Well, I'm sure everybody appreciates what you bring and what you do. Is there anything else we need to know before we leave?
Just come out and support our local businesses. Things are starting to open back up, and our businesses need us more than ever.
Yeah.
And then let us know if you're a business, how we can help you.
Yeah, come out and celebrate Lebanon with the Chamber on the third Friday. Jimmy, good meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, we'll be back with Kevin Schwieger right after this break.
Since 1954, Hardy's Interiors has been providing quality furnishings for homes in and around Lebanon, Ohio. Today, you'll still find quality antique and vintage furniture along with new made-in-America furniture of all styles. At Hardy's, you can create a mix of furniture and accessories that truly reflects your personality, all made to last a lifetime. Designers are welcome, and so are you. Hardy's Interiors at 208 1/2 Wright Avenue or online at hardysinteriors.com.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to the City Show. I'm joined by an old friend, Kevin Schwieger. You might recognize Kevin. He did some episodes with CrossFit on Fitness Focus, but this guy's more than a fitness enthusiast, and he's doing some great things in Lebanon, and that's what we're here to talk about. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Is it fair to say you've tried your hands at a variety of different career opportunities?
Well, it's all based in one career, but just multifaceted, entrepreneurial kinds of things. And I'm blessed that career and where I am at Grace Chapel is full of creative, let's just do it and figure it out kind of mentality. And so nothing's off the table. And so for that reason, I find myself wearing a lot of hats most of the time.
And the center theme for you and all these things in your life is what?
Well, the center theme is bringing people closer to Christ. And so I use a target versus tool mentality. So the target remains the same and always is and center focused on helping people come to a knowledge of God and the relationship with Him. And the tool could be whatever. It could be CrossFit, it could be business, it could be tiddlywinks. It doesn't matter what the tool is. And so be all things to all people. So that
I'm glad you're still with us. I remember.
It could be bull riding.
One point he was bull riding. Then he figured he's gonna teach kids archery. So I was thinking, I remember when you were doing bull riding and you came to the office.
Yeah, because I had to come to you often.
I was thinking you'd come in with an arrow in your head. So I'm glad, and I'm sure your wife Kim is happy that you're no longer doing life-threatening things, parachuting for God or whatever. But we
maybe
have
that's next.
You have something new right now called Orca. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, and that relates back to our marketplace ministry at Grace Chapel, where I'm on staff. And one of our, central themes there at that local church is to help business people be faith active at work and bring a larger focus or larger purpose to their business or their work. And so we do a lot of coaching entrepreneurs and small business owners on how to put faith and work together. We call these things business trees. So you take a business and a ministry, you put them together, you get a business tree in our lingo. Well, that kind of floats out into our mission work from the church also. And so one of the businesses that we actually own and operate to provide working capital for our mission activities and is this Orca, which is a co-working space. Orca stands for originality, resiliency, collaboration, and adaptability, but it also goes back to the orca, the whale, and that theme. And we thought originally, hey, if you're going to swim with the sharks in the business world, you need to be something bigger than the shark, right?
That's good.
So we 4 years ago, co-working and shared working space it's been very trendy in urban areas for years. People work remotely or have a business where they don't need a brick and mortar, and so they share working space with other people doing the same thing, and they collaborate together and bounce ideas off of each other. And so, but that's been an urban thing for years. Well, 4 years ago, we had some space on our campus there in Mason and repurposed one of the buildings to be an experiment in doing that in a suburban setting. And it worked fantastically. In fact, we won Mason's Small Business of the Year award a couple of years ago.
That's with the Orca Center that's in Mason.
Yeah, and so
you've done this already.
Yeah, so it's been successful. And then when this building opened in downtown Lebanon, which is coincidentally owned by one of the elders at our church, we thought, well, let's experiment with small town. And so we opened about a month ago. And cities love this because it keeps the brain trust in town. So instead of people driving downtown Cincinnati to do a co-working space, it keeps them here. So they're eating here, they're dining here, they're recreating here, they're spending time at the Y. And so this is just a fantastic opportunity for people who working remotely, maybe they're working from home, but they don't like working at home because of all the distractions.
So has the pandemic caused just an extra amount of people who now are working at home? They weren't before, but they want to get back and be
as a business
around
model,
people?
we're kind of the whole COVID thing has been a little bit of a silver lining because so many people are not going back to the office, and we're just kind of banking on that being an ongoing need for people to have a space that they can work.
So how does that work? Do they have to pay? Do they pay a rent? Do they get their own room, or is everything shared?
It's a membership-based opportunity. So there are different levels of membership. The entry level is what we call a drop-in. People get 24/7 access to the building. They share the printer and the Wi-Fi and the coffee and the snacks and stuff, and they just find an occupied space and just sit down and do their work.
Okay.
And then there's an upper level, higher level where they're actually renting a personal desk or a personal office, and that's their space. They can put their stuff on it, keep it there, and then we also have these what we call pods, which are reservable little conference rooms.
Okay.
And so membership is reciprocal between here and Mason, and so there are different amenities at the different sites, and so people can bounce back and forth.
So what's the low end membership cost?
So it's $119, $119 per month.
Okay.
And there's no contract. It's a month to month. It's a recurring charge until you just tell us you want it to stop. And then the personal desk is $249.
Okay. And there has to be a capacity as far as how many people you have involved in this.
In
where
Lebanon,
are you at as far as percentage right now in Lebanon?
In Lebanon, we're just starting out, so we have just a handful of members, and I mean we're just in the first week or two of activity. But the capacity for number of members is fairly large because we get more drop-in memberships than we do renting a personal desk, and those people, they're not all there at the same time. So you might have, some people may have a drop-in membership and come only once or twice a week because of their whatever need. So
so if they rent a personal desk, is that can they put their stuff in
there?
there?
Yeah, they put their computer on there, leave it there. We have security cameras and stuff like that, so they can set up put their flowers and their picture of their kids and all that, and just leave it there.
How many of those spots do you have?
So we have 18 available.
And are they walled off too, or are they just?
No, they're just kind of out in the space.
Okay. Yeah. How much square footage do you have there?
So we have about 3,000 square feet here in Lebanon, and we're working on right across the street, down from the roll-on in, 2 doors down. There's a second floor of a building there that we're creating some personal offices in there, and some more space for maybe like a staff team of 4 or 5 that could rent their own larger space.
Sounds
so
like
kind
you
of
just
an
started
annex.
and you're growing already.
Yeah.
So. Wow. Who would benefit from this environment, co-working space?
Well, we say that you're working by yourself in community.
Yeah.
And so the people who need to work remotely or have the opportunity to work remotely but miss the camaraderie and the community, and really because of why we're doing this, there's a larger mission. And so I mentioned early on that it's part of how we provide for our missions activity at church.
Yeah.
So 100% of the proceeds go directly out to those ministries that we have. So we have a local, a national, and an international project. And so all of that money, the membership money, the proceeds, go directly out to support those. And so it ends up being people who are working on their own thing, but they have a community. They're sitting around the lunch table just talking and bouncing ideas off of each other. So you get kind of community, but if you want to be alone, you have that opportunity
well,
too.
It gets them to legitimize their business too, instead of just being at home. Not that wouldn't be okay, but now they have a place to go and having an address and maybe have stuff, packages.
Speaking of an address, that's another kind of interesting perk, because some people who work from home, it's awkward to have their business mailed to their business. They don't want their business address to their home address, and it is kind of a little shady kind of sometimes in the business world to have a P.O. box. And so to have a physical address where things can be mailed is kind of a cool perk.
Well, that's fantastic. How do people find out more about Orca if they're interested?
Yeah, so they go to orcacoworking.com is our website. They can call me, and my phone number is 513-668-3995.
Nice.
orcacoworking.com.
And that's downtown?
Yeah, right in the middle of Mulberry Street,
fantastic.
Where all the action is in Lebanon.
Yeah. Well, let's shift gears. Luke 5 Adventures.
Yes.
How did this come about?
Well, Luke 5 Adventures occupies 90% of my brain power these days, and my focus and my passion. Luke 5 Adventures, our mission statement is bringing families impacted by disability closer to Christ, showing empathetic love by making the impossible possible.
Wow.
a year and a half ago, I had just come back from an inspiring hike, and I was all anxious to tell people about it.
Yeah.
I walked into church that Sunday, and the first person I interacted with was an older lady named Deb, who is quadriplegic in a wheelchair because of a car accident 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I walked up to Deb. She's the sweetest lady. She just exudes sweetness. I walked up to her and I almost said, "Deb, you should have seen." Yeah. And the words stuck in my mouth. I had this little war in my head because I thought maybe that's going to be insensitive, expressing all this excitement about something that she'll never be able to experience. Well, that conversation that never happened haunted me for days, and I was like, okay, this is not cool. I got to figure out a way of getting people like her to places where I had been. Yeah. And I turned to Google, and Google didn't help. It was a frustrating search. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and there are umpteen organizations out there that make adaptations to the wheelchair, like off-road tires or something, so it can get like in the gravel or on the grass or something. But I was like, no, I want to take Deb to the bottom of the Grand Canyon or up Pikes Peak or someplace. And so I finally found a piece of apparatus that's manufactured in France, and it's one of only 2 in the whole world like it. And called them. They said, well, we have a U.S.-based porthole for sales in Denver. Call that guy.
So this is a lightweight transport for a person.
Yeah, the picture's up on the screen right there.
Okay.
So,
my.
Yeah, part unicycle, part wheelchair, and part 2-ended wheelbarrow. So that's how I describe it. But you can see that
you're off that picture, but those 2 guys were pretty jacked. So
well,
you must
you don't
have
have
a team
to. You don't have to.
pretty...
You don't have to be, because of the design. It's brilliantly designed, so that all of the weight of the person is directly on top of the wheel. Wow. So you can guide it with your fingertips, because it's not like a wheelbarrow where you're holding the weight of whatever's in the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
So unless you're going up and down or over something, there's no weight involved if it's balanced. Okay. And it has a shock absorber. That thing, we've had an 18-month-old and an 84-year-old. Wow. We just took a guy who's 6'5", 240 pounds to Red River Gorge, and we were we were up over boulders, over 3-foot-tall trees. That thing will go anywhere you want it to go. Wow. And so we took Deb, I bought one, raised the money, comes from France, took pictures. The story just exploded, and beyond my wildest dreams. Pretty soon I was getting calls from Children's Hospital and Cincinnati Parks Foundation, Johnny and Friends, which is a national organization, the Tim Tebow Foundation. We're going out to the Pocono Mountains with them here in a couple of weeks. That's a picture of that young man we took to Red River Gorge. He's 200 and some pounds, 6'5". He was 15 when a 900-pound bale of hay fell on him and just crushed his neck. Oh, so he's quadriplegic. His story is going to be on Channel 12 tonight at 11 o'clock. Yeah. But you see those pictures, and we're not talking about, for people with disabilities, Deb said, I can see pictures out my van window as I drive by, or I can see scenery. Yeah. I can see pictures on TV, but until I die and go see the Lord, I will never, ever, ever be able to go in the woods. Yeah. There is just simply no way. And so this piece of equipment makes the impossible possible. Wow. And it's not the figuratively impossible, it's the literally impossible. And so for these people, it's providing them with something. 99% of God's incredible creation is outside the context of the room or the sidewalk. Yeah. But these people are confined to the 1% through no fault of their own, and it's just heartbreaking. And so for them to be able to see the 99%, an impossibility is now possible, but also, and that's life-changing, but for the people who are helping, we call them Sherpas. Yeah. For our Sherpas, imagine being a part of making that thing possible. Yeah. And it is so, wow. It's just incredible. So last year, 2020, in the midst of a pandemic, serving a population that by its very definition is high risk, we did 120 hikes in 18 parks in 5 states.
Oh my!
And already this year we've added another state and 5 more parks, and we've taken 30 hikes already. Wow. And our schedule is just slammed.
Yeah.
And then we had to, we added a second local chapter that serves the greater Dayton area.
Okay.
And I'm talking to a group in Cleveland and in Louisiana and in Eastern Pennsylvania about the same thing.
Nice.
And so this story, it's become a national organization in a year.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's just incredible.
Now, what goes into training to be a Sherpa? How many Sherpas do you have?
Yeah, well, we have
I'm
about.
Sure you want more Sherpas.
we need more and more and more. So now we have those pieces of apparatus we call Rosie. They're named after that lady Deb. Her last name is Rosen.
Nice.
And so we have 6 of them now, and 2 trailers, so we can go 2 different directions at once. This weekend, actually, we have 2 events going on simultaneously. Wow. One at the YMCA here in Lebanon, and one at Mount Airy Forest in Cincinnati. And we have about 200 volunteers, these Sherpas. When we have opportunities, we just blast it out to the whole group, and people respond as they're able. But there's really no training needed other than showing up a few minutes early and I show them how it works.
Yeah.
We do have an upper level of Sherpas that we call lead Sherpas and seating Sherpas, who are like occupational therapists and physical therapists who are in charge of like actually transferring the person and seating so that everything is perfectly safe, and we have all of the policies and procedures and everything in place. And so it's it's a well-oiled machine.
I would have thought it would have taken 3 years of just red tape for you to
yeah.
get through to have all this stuff.
Well, we got the 501c3 and the website and the social media and all that kind of stuff. And so it has been fast-paced and like hang on for dear life. Yeah, so it's
real quick.
Really cool.
What's your best? And I know there's probably many, but can you share one experience?
One experience was in last late summer. We went to Mississippi to serve the Johnny and Friends people. It was our 18-month-old, and so this was a tiny little boy.
Yeah.
He was 17 pounds. He had a trach and with a vent with all these tubes and stuff. And so we packed him in the little chair, and his mother, who was a single mother, had very little support, rural Mississippi. And those 18 months of his life had been just the darkest of her, because her little boy was born with so many problems, and she didn't have any support. And so she had basically lived in her home on an island. So we were hiking through this beautiful park in Mississippi. About halfway through the hike, she came to an abrupt stop on the trail. I mean, just like, and we all thought something was wrong. We came to this stop, and she looked at me and she said he had reached out and grabbed her finger with his hand.
Wow.
And she said, "That is the first time he has held my hand." And she said, in fact, this is the first time in his 18 months that I have felt alive. And we all just sort of like started, we're just like, just melted your hearts. And so, and we have story after story after story. Every single hike provides one young woman, one girl, 8 years old. We were hiking at Winton Woods last fall, and her mother was telling me a little bit about her diagnosis. She's one of only 25 little kids in the world with this diagnosis. And the mom said average lifespan is 8 to 9 years.
Wow.
And I asked how old she was, and she said, well, she's 7. And it just, it just hit you hard that what these families are going through. We did a hike for a 12-year-old boy with childhood cancer, and as a part of his Make-A-Wish wish, and we were able to participate in that. So we've been talking to the Make-A-Wish people about being their official accessibility to the outdoors partner for Make-A-Wish nationally, so that they said there are so many wishes that we have to turn down because we're not able to get to where they want us to go. And we said,
I
I
imagine you probably have a waiting list now, but if somebody would like to get a hold of you to find out, how do they get signed up to be on the list?
Luke 5 with the number 5.
Okay.
Adventures, Luke5adventures.com is our website. Also, Facebook, Instagram, and
Yeah.
YouTube channel, all at Luke 5 Adventures. No spaces, just the Luke number 5 Adventures.
Yeah. What a great fit for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I appreciate your heart and what you're doing.
By the way, Luke 5, the whole story,
Yeah.
in the book of Luke in the Bible, it's a
Yeah.
biblical reference. In the 5th chapter is the account where a group of friends
Lord,
had a friend with
Yeah.
that was paralyzed, and they wanted him to be able to go see Jesus, and so they built a stretcher, carried him to the next town. It was so crowded that they climbed up on undeterred, climbed up on the house, lowered him through the roof to see something amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do, is we band together to help somebody go see something amazing that they would not be able to see on their own.
That's awesome. Thanks for what you do.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to go by and meet an amazing fella, go by and say hi to Kevin over there at the Orca Center. If you got any questions about that or his ministry, go on out there and see him. Thanks, Kev. I appreciate you.
Sure.
Hey, we'll be back right after this to wrap up today's show, right after this break.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Hey, before we check out for today, we got a few events we'd like to let you know about. On May 8th and May 22nd, bring your kids to Harmon Park between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the Rain Barrel Beautification Project, brought to you by A Brush of Hope and the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. Painting supplies will be provided for the kids to paint rain barrels that will be on display throughout Lebanon during different events in our town. There's no charge to participate, and everyone's invited. Get more information online at brushofhope.org. The Lebanon Council of Garden Clubs annual plant sale is coming up Thursday, May 13th through Saturday, May 15th at the Lebanon train station on South Broadway. The sale is from 4 to 8 p.m. on Thursday and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. You can select from a variety of perennial and annual plants, vegetable plants, and native wildflowers that are perfect for your Lebanon garden. Maybe someday your house could be on their garden tour too. The Lebanon Council of Garden Clubs owns the Lebanon train station and is responsible for maintaining the building and grounds throughout the year. They also plant the flower boxes on Lebanon's bridges and take care of many other garden projects in the city. On Saturday, May 22nd, the Cool Critters outreach will be at Miller Ecological Park starting at 10 a.m. Bring the kids and find out why these animals are so important in nature. Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on May 21st with an all-new show. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.